Right. Right. So very good evening, everyone. If you all can hear me, put a thumbs up. If you all can hear me, put a thumbs up. All right. So today that I wanted to do this as a free seminar because the grade 10 is the grade 10. First few lessons are the ones where you learn the accounting properly, and it is the foundation, right? And it is the base for the accounting. All right. Therefore, here there can be grade 11 students, grade 10 students, right? Since it's a free seminar, it's going live on YouTube as well. Therefore, people who are there on YouTube, no issues, that you all can ask your doubts. You all can put a message through the YouTube live chat. Hurry. Right. So I have shared the paper. I have shared the paper in my WhatsApp channel. People who came for this as a free seminar, you all can download it. You can go to our channel and you can download it. And then others, right, who are there in my class already, in the LMS, right, for grade 10 students, in the LMS website, the paper is there, and I have shared it in your groups as well. Right, everyone, please download this paper and put a thumbs up quickly. People who are watching on YouTube as well, download this paper and put a thumbs up. Hurry. Right. So people who are there in the class already up until the end, you all should be there in our discussion. It's a very important area where we are discussing the unit number 4, right? So in this discussion, we'll be covering the unit number 4, which is introduction to accounting, and then unit number 5, which is accounting equation. Therefore, from the unit number 4 only, that we are getting an understanding for the lesson, and then we are discussing the unit number 5, which is how to apply that theory into the practical questions, right, into the sums, right? That is the way how we are going to do the session today. So people who are there now up until the end, you all should be here, right? Mehe avilla balala yanna epa. People who are there in the class up until the end, you should be there, right, in the live session, right? If I ask any question, that you'll have to put it to the chat box. Make sure that you are attentive, right? In our theory class, we have already completed 5 units. So this is the paper that we are going to do. And next week class, we are starting the unit number 6 as well, right? Okay, now we'll go into the first question. Since you have downloaded the paper, we'll go into the first question. Select the assets accounts only. Right, now if we go into the MCQ, we're going to the MCQ, select the assets account only. Now here, when it comes to creditors is a liability account. Therefore, in your paper, people who have got a printout, write down, creditors is a liability account. And if you look at the cash, yes, cash is an asset account. If you look at office equipment, yes, that is an asset account. If you look at capital, it is equity, or we call it as capital. And if you look at debtors, yes, debtor is a asset account. Therefore, B, C, E are the answer for this question. B, C, E is the answer. Therefore, answer is answer number 4. Answer is answer number 4. Answer is answer number 4. Write down this one. Answer is answer number 4. Alright. Then the next question. Select the transactions which is increase the liabilities of the business, right? Now take out your paper. Every time when I'm explaining this question, you should have the paper with you all. Then only that you all can refer, right? And also, and I have told you, when we come into the paper discussion, that you all need to have some full scap papers where you have to write down all the workings that I'm giving. You all have to write down all the workings and attach it to your question paper. Therefore, you have the question paper, and during the exam time, the answer that you have wrote, and during the discussion, the additional points that I am giving. Hurry. Question number 2, right? Everyone please open the paper. Select the transaction which is increase the liabilities of the business, right? Increase the liability. MCQ number 2. MCQ number 2 is asking What are the transactions that increases the liability? Hari. Number one, credit sales. Credit sales of trade stock 10,000, which cost 8,000. Now, when you sell 10,000, 8,000 worth of item for 10,000, is there an impact for liability? Liability means like creditors, bank loan, for whom we have to pay. Liability means what, lamai? For whom we have to pay. Api gewanna one. But if you look at the first option, no, it's not a something related to liability. Number two, credit purchase. Anna hari. Now let's say you are having a shop right at Colombo. Let's say Vellavatta. You are selling handbags and you are purchasing handbags from a PETA wholesaler. From PETA only that you purchase the handbags and you sell it in your shop. When you purchase the handbag, you don't pay the money at that moment, right? You are paying it later. You are purchasing on credit. Therefore, who is that person? That person is a creditor. Person who gave you the items on credit. Yes, that is the answer. That is the situation that increases the liability. Electricity bill paid to creditors, right? It will decrease the liability. Paid to creditor means what? It will decrease the liability. Therefore, what is the answer for this question? Answer for this question is answer number 2. Answer for this question is answer number 2. Answer for this question is answer number 2. Right. Accounting equation of Lakshan's business is as follows. Hari. Now, Lamai, Lakshan's business accounting equation is this. Assets is 120, equity is 90, liability is 30. On 2nd of January, paid bank loan installment 12,000, including the loan interest 2,000. Now, Lamai, he is paying 12,000. What is the meaning? From the cash, 12,000 should reduce. Did you understand that? First, write down that one. How much he paid? He paid 12,000. Therefore, under assets, right? Because it decreases the cash, no? 12,000. Including the loan interest of 2,000. I told you, loan interest means it's an expense. Therefore, when you pay loan interest, what will happen to your equity? Equity will reduce by 2,000. If equity reduced by 2,000, according to this equation, you know that liability should reduce by how much? Total is 12, equity reduced by 2,000, liability minus 10,000. Therefore, now what is the new equation? 30 minus 10, 20,000 should be the new liability. 90 minus 2, 88,000 should be the new equity. 120 minus 12,000, 108 should be the new assets. Therefore, 108, 88, 20. Answer is answer number 4. Right. When you are doing the paper, grade 10 student, this was an exam in the grade 10 class. No? People who got this correct, put a thumbs up. People who got this correct, put a thumbs up. When you are doing it in the exam time. Okay, na? Nice. Excellent. Okay. Right. Hi. Okay. Now, Lamai, let's go into the next question. Right. When settling a creditor worth 10,000, it was increased the equity by 1,000. The double entry for the transaction. This is an area that is kind of new for you. Okay. Now, Lamai, when you are paying for creditors 10,000, the right creditor worth of 10,000, it was increased the equity by 1,000. Right. What is the meaning? It's like this. It's like this, Lamai. Now, let's say you have purchased. Okay, now let's say you have a shop. This is MCQ number 4 working. Okay, write down with the MCQ number. Right? This is MCQ number 4 working. Right? MCQ 4 working. Right. Now let's say, Lama, you have a shop. You have a shop. Okay. Now, Lama, let's say you are selling books. This is you. A. You are selling, Lama, books. Therefore, it's a bookshop. Right. Bookshop. Now, your bookshop is located, right? Your bookshop is located, let's say, in Dehiwala. Okay. Now, when it comes to these books, you are purchasing from the Atlas company. from the Atlas company, the Atlas lorry comes to your business. You purchase the items from where? From the Atlas company. Now let's say you have purchased 10,000 worth of items. Okay. This theory still we didn't do in the class because that is the next lesson we are starting in our theory class. Now let's say from Atlas company you have purchased 10,000 worth of items. You promise for Atlas company, not now, I will pay you after some time. Now Atlas company is putting a restriction, putting a condition. If you pay us, today is May 30th, no? If you pay us before, let's say June 15th, if you pay us before June 15th, we will give you a off of rupees 1,000. That means out of 10,000, you don't have to pay 1,000. This 1,000 is what we call as discount received. If we pay it on time, if we settle our creditors on time, they are giving us a small kind of a off, discount received. How do we put that into the accounting equation? What is accounting equation? Assets equals to equity plus liability. Assets equals to equity plus liability. Now, Lamai, out of this 10,000, if they ask you, okay, if you pay us within January 15th, you don't have to pay 1,000 means, if you get the money, let's say on January 14th, now you are going to pay. Out of this 10,000, if you get a discount of 1,000, put it to the chat box, how much you need to pay. Out of 10,000, if you get a discount of 1,000, how much you need to pay then, right? Out of 10,000, now 1,000 discount. Right, very good. Yunus, excellent. Afla, correct. What about others? Riafa, correct. Out of 10,000, 1,000 off. Right. Here, excellent. It is Lamai 9,000. Anna Hari. It is 9,000. Therefore, by cash, how much you have to pay? 9,000 you have to pay by cash. This discount received, it's an income to your business. Remember that one. This is an income to your business. I told you, if it's an income, it will increase the equity. It will increase the equity by 1,000 rupees. Then Lamai, liability. The creditor's worth is how much? 10,000. No, it will reduce by 10,000. Therefore, what is the double entry? Cash minus 9,000, equity, which is discount received plus 1,000, discount received plus 1,000, and creditors reduced by 10,000. This is the double entry. Therefore, if we go into the question, what will happen? Creditors account debit 10,000, reducing 10,000, cash reduced by 9,000. You are getting a discount of how much? You are getting a discount of 1,000. Therefore, answer is answer number 3. Answer is answer number 3. Right. How many of you all understood this? Quickly put a thumbs up. Make a therunada. Did you all understand this one? Very good. Nice. Now take out your writing book, write down MCQ number 4 and write down this working. Right. Still we didn't learn the theory yet. In the first tute, we have the last unit to be discussed. Unit number 6, we are starting it next week, right? People who joined the class this week, that will be getting the tute, right, within the next week, because these days, you know, Vesak holidays, right? Tomorrow anyway, Sunday, right? There are a lot of people, and I was unable to post it as last Thursday. We had the Hajj festival. You will be getting it very soon, right? The newcomers, you will have to give the correct, you know, the address to the website. Right. Now take out your paper, write that working paper, and write down this. Then we'll discuss from question number 5. Right. Once you are done with writing, put done. So I can give some time. All right. Done. Okay. So these days, are you all having holidays at school? I think most of you all have gone on trips or something. A lot of people inform me that they'll be watching the recording. You all have holidays, no? Till? So up until when that you are having holidays? 31st. Monday. Monday. Tomorrow. Then you have schools, no? All right. I'm in Puttalam watching your class family tour. Okay. Nice. Right? Anyways, that's right. That's good. Like you have gone on a trip, but you are here in the class. Actually, that's nice. School starts on Monday. Now, some of the people asked from me why I didn't give holidays, because the thing is now Hajj is over, right? Hajj on Thursday, it is already over. Okay, so that is the reason. All right, and now let's go to the next one as well. All right, it's an MCQ. For this paper, we have 100 marks. Yes. Pavam, no, sir. Right? Pavam, na. Okay. You'll have to study. If not only that, you will be like Pavam. Right? Hurry. Then, what I was saying, in this paper, 100 marks was there. I'll be releasing the top 10, right? By tomorrow, maybe. Right. Accounting transaction of Nuha's business is given below. Assets, equity, liability. Underline the correct description. Now look at here. Cash minus 90,000. Nuha has paid cash 90,000. When she paid it, creditors also reduced by 90,000. Then what is the meaning? She has paid to settle the creditors, right? She has paid to the creditors. Therefore, answer is paid to creditors 90,000. Answer is paid to creditors 90,000. Paid to creditors 90,000. Right? When you are paying, right, it gets reduced. Paid to creditors 90,000. Okay. Now, Lamai, we are going to do the most important question of this paper. Right? We are going to do the most important question of this paper. Yes, let's see. We can finish it by 8:30, right? Only for today. Since most of you are in what we call it as like a holiday mode, right? Still, you all are in that holiday or a chill mode. Am I correct? I can feel it. In my A-level class also same thing, right? Still that you all are in the holiday or a mode. Hajj mode or anything? Yes. Right. Anyways, come out of it, right? Come out of it and come to the reality. Okay. Alright. Then, so my boys are calling yes until school starts only. Right? Tell to the boys, I'll be coming after the class. Yes, until. Okay. Right. Now, Lamai, we are going to do the most important question. This is the most important question of this paper. Part 2, question number 1. Hurry. In order to do this question, we have to draw the accounting equation. We have to draw the accounting equation. I'll draw it from here. I'll draw a full accounting equation. And I'll divide it into furniture, cash, stocks, debtor, equity, bank loan, creditor. We have to divide it into number 1, furniture, cash, stocks, debtors, equity, bank loan, creditors. bank loan, creditors. Write down this one. Right. Furniture, cash, stocks, debtors, equity, debtors, these are assets, equity, bank loan, creditors, Hurry. Now, one by one that we have to learn. Everyone, right? You all should have the paper with you, right? Question number 1. Chamara commenced the stationery business on 1st of January 2016. Following transactions occurred. Chamara has started the business on 1st of January. If he has started the business on 1st of January, one important thing that you have to understand is there is no any opening balances. Now only know he has started the business, therefore he does not have any furniture opening balance, cash, stocks, there is no any opening balance. You need to understand that. If he has started the business newly, there is nothing called opening balances. Opening balances are there only if he was running the business for some time. Because now let's say I have started this class 4 years back. Therefore, when we are starting the new year, next new year, 2027, I will be having some assets with me, right? For example, let's say camera, right? My devices, my smart board, right? The value I am getting to the next year. Now, let's say in 2027 only I am starting the class. Then I don't have any opening balances. Therefore, in this business, there is no any opening balances. Invested 100,000 as the capital. How much he invested? 100,000 he invested as the capital. Right. Now, Lamai, 100,000 invested into capital means what? Right. Number one transaction, 100,000 capital. Cash will increase by how much? Cash will increase by 100,000 because capital means you are putting money. Therefore, cash increases. Then what will happen? Capital means equity also increases by 100,000. Cash increases by 100 when you put the money into your business. Equity increases by 100 when you put the money into your business. That is how that you need to understand. Because of an invested capital, cash increased by 100,000. Equity also increased by 100,000. People who got this correct, put a thumbs up. Transaction by transaction, we'll discuss. Very good. Right? More than previous time, actually, when we compare the class marks, it is really good. Right now, there's a good competition in the class. Excellent. Hurry. Right. Number 2, transaction. Okay, write down this transaction there. Cash plus 100, equity plus 100. Even if you have done this correct, no problem. Again, draw this. Because when we practice more and more only, that you will be able to score well when it comes to the final exam, when it comes to the O levels. Therefore, write down 100, 100. Number 2, transaction. Sold 80,000 cost of goods for 98,000 on credit and remaining on cash. How much is the cash? Look at here. Right. In the paper that I have uploaded, I think that I didn't upload the newest version. Give me 1 minute. Grade 10 students, in the paper that I have uploaded to your LMS, I have given an amount, no, on cash kela. Isn't that so? I have given you an amount, no, in cash. People who did the paper, put it to the chat box. No. I think it was a typing mistake. The marking scheme also, it was not there, ne? Yeah, that is right. Markings. Right. There, write down lamai 8,000 on cash kela. Write down 8,000 on cash kela. Write down 8,000 on cash. I think that I have that the person is doing the typing has done a mistake. 8,000 on cash kela. 8,000 on cash. Right. 80,000 worth of item for 98,000. 8,000 on cash. Write down that. In the question paper, write down that 8,000 on cash. Then I'll explain how to do such a question. 8,000 on cash. 8,000 on cash. Right. Now, Lamai, you are having 80,000 worth of item. Okay. Now you are doing this sales in two ways. One is you are selling, right? Selling the item. Totally you are selling the item for 98,000. Totally 80,000 worth of item you are selling for 98,000. Out of this 98,000 by cash, you are selling 8,000 worth of item. Then on credit, how much you are selling? Out of 98,000 on cash, if it is 8,000, then on credit you are selling 90,000. Did you understand the difference? I have 80,000 worth of item. Out of that item, I am selling it to 98,000. Out of 98,000, 8,000 I am selling on cash, which means on credit I am selling for 90,000. Did you understand the meaning? Right, now let's say I'm having a laptop for 80,000. Now I'm selling it for 98. Now one of my class student comes and says, I don't have money this time. I can pay you 8,000 only. I say, okay, no issues, right? Next month you can, right, pay me. I know you are one of my student from grade 10. Therefore, pay me 8,000 now. Later you pay me 90,000. That is what happens here. If that is the case, how you are recording it in the accounting equation? How you record stocks? How much worth of item? 80,000 worth of item. On cash, how much you are getting? On cash plus 8,000. On credit, that means debtors. No, if we sell something on credit, then that person is debtor. On debit, how much we are selling it? For 90,000 we sell on credit. What is our profit then? If you look at here, what is our profit? 80,000 worth of item I am selling for 98,000. What is my profit? 18,000 is my profit. Therefore, equity plus 18,000. Tell me, Lamai, did you all understand this? Did you all understand this? Did you all understand this, Lamai? 100% well. 80,000 worth of item, 8,000 on cash and 90,000 on credit. People who understood this, put a heart quickly. If you understood this 100% well, put a heart. If anyone is there, did not understand. Yunus, shall I explain you once again? Yunus, if you want, tell me. 80,000 worth of item is there, right? 80,000 worth of item is there. You are selling it for 98,000, out of which Right, I'll explain here. I told you to change the question on cash 8,000 kela. I told you to change the question. Okay. Right. Now I have 80,000 worth of a laptop. I have 80,000 worth of a laptop and I'm planning to sell it for 98,000. Okay. Now let's say Kidash comes to me and says, sir, now I don't have much money now. I can pay you 8,000. Now that is the one I asked you to change in the question. Inside the brackets, write down 8,000 on cash. Okay. As asked you to change the question. Then he says, I have only 8,000. Rest of the 90, I'll pay you later. I say, okay, no problem. Then 90,000 I have sold on credit. No, I didn't get the money. 8,000 only I got the money. But anyways, in accounting, 80,000 worth of item when you sell for 98,000, there is a profit of 18,000. That is how we record. Minus 80,000 is stocks because stocks reduced by 80,000. On cash, I am getting only 8,000. On debit, I'm getting 90,000. I have to get 90,000. Anyways, my profit is 18,000. Profit comes under equity. Now, is it clear? Now, is it clear? Excellent. Hari. That is what I told you, Kidash, to change the question as, right? Change the question because there's a small typing error in the question, right? Change the question as inside the brackets, write down 8,000 on credit, 8,000 on cash. You have to understand it like this. Sold 80,000 goods for 98,000 on credit and remaining on cash. That means you have done this 98,000. Inside this 98,000, credit also there, cash is also there. Now, did you understand, Kidash? That is total. 98 is total. 98 on credit and remaining on cash. Remaining on cash means what? The word remaining on cash means you have to understand inside this, you have credit as well as you have cash sales. Am I clear, Kidash? Now is it okay? I think you understood it as 98,000 as credit. Okay, right. Welcome. Excellent. Now, Lamai, understand this type of question will not come into your O-level paper. Don't worry. But I wanted to just put and explain this because this is one kind of an A-level question, right? And I was doing A-levels at the beginning. I felt like accounting was difficult. Then I went for a class, right? In that class, he was a very good sir, right? In that class, there was a unit test for accounting equation. In that unit test, right? One of the question was this, where I was thinking for the entire only 1 hour paper within that time. I was thinking, now, not exactly this. There were some other like percentages and all, but this is the way, right? How the question should be. On that day only that I thought, if we do such questions, A-level, O-level questions are nothing. In O-level paper, you might not see any questions like this, right? Trust me, in O-level paper, right? That's nothing. Lakshita sir was my accounting sir. I went for accounting A-level classes. I think most of you all know him, right? The leading English medium lecturer. In his class, right? That paper, so I can remember unit test number 2. Because at the beginning I wanted to do arts, right? Then after I joined his accounting class, since in Royal we didn't have subjects like political and logic in English, right? That is the reason why that I went to his class. It was really good, perfect. These type of the questions are the ones we practiced in sir's class, right? That is the reason why even in my teaching that I use such questions in order to prove. Okay, now you all can hear me, ne? Right, write down this and put down. Write down this and put down. Okay. Now again. Right. Shall we go to the third question? Third transaction. Okay. Purchase the furniture for 50,000. Purchase the furniture for 50,000. What will happen? Furniture will increase by 50. You are purchasing on cash, they haven't mentioned, so it is cash minus 50,000. Furniture plus 50, cash minus 50. Furniture plus 50, cash minus 50. Right. Fourth transaction. Received 70,000 from debtors. Received 70,000 from debtors. Received 70,000 from debtors. Therefore, in cash, you are getting 70,000. Hari. Then lamai, from debtors, debtor balance is reducing by 70,000. On cash, 70,000. Debtor balance reduced by 70,000. Number 5. Okay, record this transaction, then we can go for number 5. People who are there on YouTube also, right? If you have any doubts, you can put it to the chat. Purchase 50,000 cost of goods on credit. You are purchasing 50,000 worth of stocks, but not on cash. Your creditors will increase. You are purchasing on credit lamai. Since you don't have money now, you are purchasing 50,000 worth of items on credit. Therefore, stocks plus 50, creditors plus 50. Number 6. Paid monthly electricity bill 8,000. Electricity bill 8,000. Then what will happen lamai? Cash minus 8,000. Electricity bill is an expense. No? Therefore, equity minus 6,000. Cash minus 6,000. Equity minus 8,000. Sorry, 8,000. Obtain bank loan of 100. Obtain bank loan of 100,000. Cash, it will increase when you get a bank loan. At the same time, bank loan balance also will increase by 100,000. Bank loan balance also will increase by 100,000. Transaction number 8. Paid bank loan installment 60,000, including 3,500 interest. Okay, first write this one. I'll explain the transaction. All right. Now, Lamai, look at here. I am paying 60,000 by cash to the bank. Out of this, 3,500 is related to interest. Interest means what? Aravatti. That means bank is not giving us loan for free. No, there is an interest portion also. Okay. I'll explain that, Rashida. Out of 60,000, if 3,500 is interest, then what is the loan portion? That means for loan, how much you are paying? For loan, you are paying, right, 56,500. No, out of 60,000, 3,500 for interest, 56,500 for the loan portion, right? Therefore, that is the total amount. All right. So let's write down that one. You are paying totally 60,000. Inside this 60,000, interest means expense. No? Therefore, equity minus 3,500. Loan portion minus 56,500. Loan portion minus 56,500. Write down this and put that. Make a liyaga. Write down this. Right. Then 9 transaction, commission income received. It's an income 6,000 you are receiving. Therefore, cash minus plus 6,000. Commission income means it's equity, no? Plus 6,000. Transaction number 10. Stocks drawing 7,000. What do you mean by stocks drawing? Now let's say there is a father who is having a bookshop. Now, during the month of January, the new year, he is not going for another shop and purchasing the stationeries for his kid. He is getting his stocks out. He is having a bookshop. No? From that bookshop, he is extracting, he is drawing, he is taking out stationeries and giving it to his kid. It's a personal thing. But do we have to record it in accounting? Yes. Accounting says that once you start a business, you are different. Business is different. There's something called accounting entity concept, right? If you do A-level commerce, you will learn. You are different. You are separate. Business is a separate person. Just because you take your business items for your personal purpose, that doesn't mean you don't have to record it. You have to record, even if it is a personal thing. Therefore, here, stock drawing 7,000. Therefore, you will have to record stocks minus 7,000. Right? Stocks minus 7,000. Drawings means what? It will reduce the equity plus minus 7,000. Equity by 7,000 minus. Record this. All right. How many of you all understood these 10 transactions 100% well? Put a thumbs up. Even if you have one single doubt, you should put it to the chat with the transaction number. I'll explain. If a doubt එකක් හරි තිබුණොත්, right, put it to the chat box. With the doubts, you can't go out of this class, right? At the end, you should not even have one single doubt. That is the way, right? You all have to learn from the beginning. You all have to follow that method only. When you just go out of the class at the end with so many doubts, you won't be able to understand. Right? If you want that, you can watch the recording also. It's on my YouTube, and I'll ask the admin to upload it to the LMS website as well. Right? You all have to go and watch it before tomorrow. Right? That is very important. And people who are coming for grade 10 history class, make sure that you all come tomorrow for the live class, because tomorrow 31st, no, recordings will not be available for 1 week, the last day. All right. Right. Now write down this entire transactions. If you have any doubts, ask from me. People who are there on watching on YouTube as well, if you have any doubts, put it to the chat. Right. Okay. Now let's go into the next question. Right. ඊළඟ question එකට යමු. Right. Following are some of the details of Amina Enterprises for the year 2026. Okay. I have given capital 657,000, expenses 70,000, additional capital 90,000, drawings 40,000, cash drawings 35,000, income 167,000. You have to calculate the closing equity. You have to calculate the closing equity. Right, question number 2. In order to find the closing equity, first, what is the opening capital? What is the opening capital? What is the opening capital? It is, look at the question, 657,000. 657,000. Then what is the expenses? Expenses you have to deduct. Remember, from equity, we have already done this in the class. Expenses you have to deduct, right? Put inside the bracket 70,000. Expenses you have to deduct. Additional capital means you have to add, right? Additional capital, how much? In this business, what about the additional capital? In this business, additional capital is 90,000. At the 90,000. Stock drawings, you have to deduct. Drawings, I told you, from the equity, you have to deduct. How much is the stock drawings? It is 40,000. Deduct it. Right, next one. Cash drawings also you have to deduct because it is a drawings. Cash drawings you have to deduct by how much? 35,000. Then income you have to add, right? Income for the year you have to add. Income you have to add 167,000. When you do the calculation, finally you will be getting the closing capital or else closing equity. In order to find the closing capital, you have to deduct if there is any expense, add additional capital, deduct the drawing, add if there is any income. This is the way how you do this question. Right. Now do this transaction and tell me what is the closing capital you all got. What is the closing capital you all got? Put it to the chat box. What is the closing capital of this business? What is the closing capital? $769. Very good. 769,000. Do this. 769,000. 769,000. Okay. Question number 3. I don't write anything. I'll just write it down. Opening capital is 90,000. Expenses 10,000. So you have to deduct 10,000. Additional capital 30. Therefore, add the 30,000. Income 40. Add the 40,000. Drawings 11. Deduct the 11,000. Then finally you are getting the closing equity. What is the answer for this? 139. 39, no? Yes, 139. Right. People who got these both of the answers correct, quickly put a heart. Did you get both of these answers correct during the exam time? Excellent. There is any mistake to be corrected, correct it. Correct. During the exam time. Percentages and all. Yes. You are different. You are separate. Business is a separate person. Just because you take your business. You don't have to do this exam units. This was a grade 10 exam. Okay. This was a grade 10 exam. Okay. හරි. එහෙනම් let's go into the final question of our paper. Right. In this question, they are giving you the description. They give you the description. You have to put it to the table. In this question, what happens is they are giving the table and you have to write down the description. In this, they are giving you the table. You have to write down the description. Okay. Right. Now let's do this question. Right. The following accounting equation of Maha's business shows the impacts of transactions occurred. Now here they have given us in the table. Now you have to describe this question. Okay. Now we have done in the class, since there are some grade 11 and also since there are newcomers, right, for the free class, since it's a free session, I'll give you 10 minutes, give a try. I'll give you 10 minutes. People who were there in the exam also, no problem, give a try. I'll give you 10 minutes, take out a paper, write down answers quickly for all these questions. You have to describe, then I'll explain. First give a try and put down. In any of the transaction, if you have a question, let me know. Right. Right. Then lamai, we'll discuss this question. Following accounting equation of Maha's business shows the impacts of transactions. Owner has not taken any cash drawings, right? I have given a note. Owner has not taken any cash drawing, right? If I have given a note that owner has not taken any cash drawings, you can't write down cash drawings as one of the description. That is what you have to understand. If I have given a note saying that there is no cash drawings, it's a caution, right? It's kind of a what? Not an emergency, it's an alert saying that there is no any cash drawings here. Therefore, again, even after looking at this, if you write down description as cash drawings, then your answer is wrong. Did you understand? Therefore, this is kind of an alert that I am giving you, right? There is no any cash drawing, right? Other than cash drawing, write down any description, right? Okay. On 5th of May, 90,000 plus vehicle, cash minus 90. What is the meaning? The cash you are having, 90,000 you have taken out and given it to purchase a motorbike. How do we write it? Write down on 5th of May, write down on 5th of May, on 5th of May, 5th of May, purchased a motor vehicle for rupees, how much? For rupees 90,000. On cash, you don't have to write it. If you don't write anything, we know, okay, that is on cash only Kela. Right? Okay. People who got this correct, put a heart. People who got this correct. Excellent. Nice. Right. Now the transaction number 2 on 11th of May. 60,000 cash, 80,000 stocks, creditor 20. What is the meaning, Lamai? What is the meaning? What is the meaning? You have purchased 80,000 worth of stocks. You have purchased 80,000 worth of stocks. But you have paid only 60,000, which means you have to pay another 20,000. Therefore, write down purchased rupees 80,000 worth of stocks, out of which rupees 60,000 on cash, and you can write down remaining on credit, or else you can write down rupees 20,000 on credit Kela, right? That is not an issue. You can write down rupees 20,000 on credit, or you can write down remaining on credit. But anyways, both cash and credit should be mentioned. Both cash and credit should be mentioned. 80,000 worth of stocks have been purchased, out of which 60,000 on cash, 20,000 on credit. 60,000 on cash, 20,000 on credit. Honey, write down this and put down. Write down this one. 5th and 11th of May. If you have any question, you can ask from me. Right. Now I'll erase this, okay? On 12th of May, what has happened? 8,000 cash, 8,000 creditor. What is the meaning? You have paid 8,000 for creditors. Therefore, write down paid rupees 8,000 for the creditors. Paid rupees 8,000 for the creditors. Paid rupees 8,000 for the creditors. Right? 8,000 ගෙවලා you have paid 8,000. Right. 13th of May, what has happened? Cash plus bank loan. You have taken a bank loan. Therefore, write down on 13th of May, bank loan obtained. Bank loan obtained rupees 10,000. 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 Right. What is the meaning of this 17? This is very important. Put a star. 85,000 data, 60 stocks, 25 equity. What is the meaning? 60,000 worth of stocks you have sold for 85,000. So you are earning a profit of 25,000. Therefore, write down sold rupees 60,000 cost of goods on credit. That is why data is increased. Goods for rupees, how much you are selling? 85,000 on credit. On credit. Right. People who got all this correct, put a heart. People who got all this correct. Nice, nice, nice. Right, Subiri. So 60,000 cost of goods for 85,000 on credit. Right. That is also done 20th, right? We'll go for 20th transaction. 20th of May transaction. 20th of May transaction. Right. 10,000 cash, 2,000 equity, 8,000 bank loan. What is the meaning? You have paid 10,000, right? In order to settle a bank loan, including 2,000 interest, right? So if you look at the previous question, here we have learned paid bank loan installment, including interest, something like that. Therefore, on 20th of May, paid bank loan installment. Paid bank loan installment rupees 10,000, including how much interest? Including rupees 2,000 interest. Rupees 2,000 interest. So interest you are right, you can understand from the equity side. Write down that. Right, how many of you all got this correct? Put a heart. Very good. Nice, nice, nice. Right. Excellent, guys. That is how that you all have to work, right? Very good. Now, Lamai, 25th is the most crucial transaction. Important one. Cash minus 4,000, equity minus 4. Can you write down this as cash drawings? Yes or no? Cash minus 4,000, equity minus 4,000. One student can think, this is cash drawing ne gela. Can you write it as cash drawing? No. This is the reason. Because in the caution, in the note I have given, owner has not taken any cash drawings. Right? Owner has not taken any money. Therefore, you can't write down. Therefore, you can write down any other expenses. Paid 4,000 electricity, paid 4,000 rent, paid 4,000 water bill. Write down any expenses. Paid expenses. You can write down any expenses. Okay, insurance or anything. Paid expenses rupees 4,000. Paid expenses rupees 4,000. Paid 4,000 expenses. Paid 8,000 because Rashida, you have not paid only 8,000. No, you have paid 10,000. Rashida, 8,000. Sorry, Riafa. 8,000 is the bank loan portion. Did you understand? You are paying 10,000. Out of this only, you have interest and you have bank loan portion. But you have paid 10,000. You can't write down paid 8,000 because you are paying 10,000. Something you pay 10,000. How can you write down 8,000? You are paying 10,000 to the bank. Out of that, 2,000 interest to 8,000 bank loan portion. Okay, very good. Right. Hi. Then Lamai, with this, the entire paper comes to an end. Right. So when it comes to these two accounting units, because in grade 10 only know that your accounting starts, right? In grade 10 only that your accounting starts. Starting part of accounting are these two units, unit 4 and unit 5. I hope that I had done the theory properly, you all understood. Then you did the exam, you all understood it. And then we did the discussion again. If you all won't watch the recording also. Once the basement is very good, Lamai, right? Grade 11 is nothing. Did you understand? Right. Therefore, we have done this lesson. Next week, we are starting the final unit of the tute number 1. In this tute, final unit, which is unit number 6, another important unit. Right? If you don't understand this one, you can't do the rest of the parts in grade 11. Entire accounting, the heart of accounting is the unit number 6 we are starting next week, which is dual impact of transactions. For all the transaction, there is a dual impact. That is what we are going to discuss in our next week class. We are going to start this unit only dual impact of transaction. Then with this, we'll wind up the today's session. We are starting this unit next week. Everyone have the tutor. Therefore, do not miss a single class, right? Do not miss a single class starting from this unit. It's a crucial one. It's a very important one, right? It is a very important unit when it comes to the grade 10, because this is the foundation. With the unit 4-5, this is the foundation for your rest of the grade 11 entire syllabus, right? Anything we do, it is based on the dual impact, right? For every transactions we say, there is a dual impact. Right? We are going to start it in our next week class. Make sure that you all join for the live classes properly. This recording is there on YouTube also, right? All the discussion that you all can watch it. Right. Then I hope that you all understood the today's discussion 100% well. We can wind up the session. Give me a feedback. Did you all understand the today's lesson properly, and how was the today's discussion, especially the newcomers as well? Okay, thank you very much. Understood. Understood well. Okay, thank you. All right. Then people who are watching on the YouTube also, that you all can put a chat in the YouTube, right? You all can leave a comment. All right. Then with this, we are going to wind up the today's session. Okay, thank you for joining. Good night. See you at the class next.